Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review of Fear the Walking Dead Season 2 Episode 11. And this one, I think, was really good. I'll just get into it by saying that unlike maybe some of the episodes that we've had this season, I really liked this one. I really actually felt like the story, instead of like not knowing where it was going or think it was going in maybe a not good place, I felt like it was going to a really good place. I felt like we were making significant forward progress in a positive way. And yeah, because of that, I'll talk about it part by part and give my general thoughts, but I'm going to split it up and talk about the Alicia's group stuff and then talk about the Nick stuff, because just jumping around between the two of them would kind of mix up all the ideas in together. So talking about the Alicia's group stuff, I really liked seeing us flash back to Madison and see Madison and Strand escape. They use the guts trick, and I'm beginning personally, and this is just a personal thing, personally to think that the whole guts thing is getting overused a lot. Like, it was okay the first couple times Nick used it, but now we are using it way more than we should be as a plot device. So personally, I think we're using that too much, but not a huge problem. And we see how they meet back up with Alicia and them, like we saw from Alicia's perspective last episode. And then we have a lot of cool stuff with them and the negotiations with the hotel residents. The way that they, just the setting and all is really nice. I really like this setting and how they sort of bring peace together between the two groups in order to clear out the hotel. And the clearing out the hotel scenes were really cool to me. I really like that type of thing, the whole community building sort of aspect in the post-apocalyptic genre. So I really enjoyed it. And when they did the lead the herd out off the pier thing, that was really cool too. I disagree with the strategy, but I thought the scene was really cool. Like, I would have rather gone door to door and made sure they were brained one by one than to let them wash away and risk washing them somewhere else where they can just bite somebody. So I'd rather be safe than sorry, even if it took me a couple weeks, and just clear it room by room. But either way, even though I disagree with the strategy, I think it was a really cool scene. And then the only things we have left for that group, I think, is seeing Strand. I really love Strand's character development here, and he's already had a lot of character development, but I loved how we saw, I don't know, that side of him where he's just like broken, because the entire series, he's just been doing everything we've seen him do to get back to Abigail. That is literally like his main and only motivation, and now that's gone, so he is lost as a person and in a show as a character. And I think that's a really cool place to put Strand. Like, I love the character. He's one of my favorite in the series, and I like what they did with him this episode, especially the ending. The ending, that conversation was so emotional and so well done. And then when it comes to the other group with Nick, we do see him build a better relationship with Alejandro, and we hear Alejandro's story, and I like that. I like the relationship between the two, and I kind of like Alejandro, though I think he's still hiding some shit, and I think that his story about being bit is BS. I think I said before, I don't know if I said it in the video, I think it's totally possible that he got bit and didn't get infected, because we know that we all have the disease in you. Then when you get bit, the infection from the saliva and stuff in the mouth added onto the into your bloodstream is what activates the disease and stuff and gives you the infection that burns you out. So if they just dumped a ton of rubbing alcohol or something on it, or just dumped a bunch of stuff that just completely kills germs all over it as soon as he was bitten, it'd be painful as hell. But I would believe that there was the possibility that it wouldn't get infected if they completely sterilized it. And he is technically a doctor, so perhaps he would know to do that or how to do that. Or even say I think personally that they said the kid was all junk, like coked out pretty much, and he was a junkie, and he was going crazy, and they were beating him, and he was part of the dead. And I think totally the kid could have bit him, just gone all bath salt zombie on him. And I think that could be the explanation for it. Or maybe they just cut around the bite. I have no clue. There's a lot of possibilities. Or even, like I think somebody said on The Talking Dead maybe, out of all of the 6-7 billion people on Earth, there's bound to be, no matter what disease there is, like it's just genetics and just biology that out of a sample of billions, there's probably going to be a couple exceptions here and there that are immune to any sort of virus, no matter what. Now, saying that he's immune doesn't make him immune in this world, because he can always get killed by any sort of ravaging group or whatever. So it's not like, I don't know, it's not the worst thing ever. So I like the idea. I like where they're going with this story. Also, we find out Luciana's brother Pablo got killed, presumably by the gangs, or so Francisco tells us. And it brings Luciana and Nick closer together. And I really like the development with Nick and the development with Luciana, but I'm still on the fence about the romance part. Because romance to me is a bit of an overdone thing in a lot of stories, and it often doesn't feel natural. And here, you can kind of argue that as well. They haven't known each other that long, and they're just sort of, the characters are forced together. And I'm thinking, you can build a relationship without it being romantic. They can be a man and a woman who are best friends with no romantic feelings for each other. That can be totally possible. Or they could just have a really good trust and a really good relationship without having it to be romantic. Or it could be romantic and they could not have a very good relationship. Like, I don't know. I just feel like they're trying to force trust through romance. And while the two can go hand in hand, I think it's a little bit of a cop-out when they could do it without. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about how I feel with it, whether I like it or not, but I like Luciana as a character, and I like Nick as well. One last thing I left out of all of this is that Ophelia apparently stole their truck and booked it out of there. I didn't really like Ophelia much anyway, but it seems obvious that if she's going to go, she's going to run into somebody we know. I feel like Nick's group has enough going on. I don't think she's going to run into them. I could see her running into Travis and Chris. And I'm assuming Travis and Chris. I don't know. I think she could run into them, or if she runs into her father or Celia or something, if either of them survived. I personally think Celia's dead. We haven't seen a body, though, so I don't know. But I think that what if she just went out in the desert and some blind luck, and I would give the show shit for this if this happened, blind luck she runs into her father out there. I'd give the show shit for it, but I mean, it is what it is. I think she'll run into Travis and Chris, though. So, yeah, she stole the truck. Bitch move, Ophelia. I really like the actress, don't get me wrong, but the character Ophelia you guys have known I've always thought was pretty boring. This is the most action she's ever taken, really. So yeah, but that's it. That's all my ramble and rant is going to go on for about. Let me just checking to see if I had written anything down. And I think I covered everything. The thing I'm going to say about the episode in general, I think it was a lot more solid than the Alicia stuff last chapter, even though I liked it. The writing wasn't very solid. This gave Madison and Alicia both much needed character development, and both of their characters moved forward in a really good way. I love the stuff with Strand. But I will say the episode as a whole, even though it was much better than the Alicia stuff last episode, it wasn't quite as entertaining as the Travis and Chris stuff. Still very, very good. Still up there. Still very close, but not quite there. And so overall, I'll give the episode, because overall I do think it was a tiny bit better, but not that much. I'll give it like 7.75 soccer matches out of 10. Yeah, that was a kind of pointless-ish scene thrown in there. But either way, I don't feel like it took away from the episode much, really. But either way, so, if you did like this video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of this episode and what you thought of my rambly thoughts on it. Subscribe for more Fear the Walking Dead, Normal the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead comics, and a bunch of other stuff too. Follow on Twitter if you want. I'll try to keep you updated there on stuff with the channel. And that is it. So thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.